Okay. All right. So let's start tapping. And when you think about yesterday when we listened to the channelings, what brought up the most emotion? So we had the abandonment one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The conflict.
Yes.
The worthlessness and the spiritual enlightenment.
Yes. Yes.
So which one was coming up that was causing emotion or reaction?
Yeah, I think that abandonment.
Yeah,
made me to causes some emotions.
Okay.
Cry.
So when you think about that and you say out loud, I was abandoned, so say that out loud.
I was abandoned.
Does it resonate anywhere in your body when you say that?
I was abandoned. I think that I felt something in my heart.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Even though I felt something in my heart.
Even I felt something in my heart.
When I think about that channeling.
When I think about that channeling.
When there was abandonment.
When was an abandonment.
And I've had abandonment in this life.
And I had abandonment in this life.
And I can still feel it in my heart.
And I still can feel it in my heart.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And this feeling.
And this feeling.
And I ask my Akash to show me where it comes from.
And I ask my Akash to show me where it comes from.
This feeling of abandonment.
This feeling of abandonment.
Being left behind.
Being left behind.
People leaving me.
People leaving me.
This feeling of being left behind.
This feeling of being left behind.
People are leaving me all the time.
People leaving me all the time.
This repeat pattern.
This repeat pattern.
It's a soul pattern.
It's a soul pattern.
And I want to release it.
And I want to release it.
I've still had it in this life.
I still had it in this life.
People leaving me behind.
People leaving me behind.
I'm abandoned.
I'm abandoned.
Feeling alone.
Feeling alone.
This feeling of being alone.
This feeling of being alone.
Like I went to my friend's place.
Like I went to my friend's place.
Up in the mountains.
Up in the mountains.
When I was feeling sad.
When I was feeling sad.
And left behind.
And left behind.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And this reaction in my body.
And this reaction in my body.
In my heart.
In my heart.
And I ask my Akash to show me where it first began.
And I ask my Akash to show me where it first began.
This feeling of abandonment.
This feeling of abandonment.
Okay, so when you had some emotion come up and down then, what was coming up for you? Did you get any pictures or any memories come in?
No, but I feel the vibration in my body, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that there was some suppressed and somewhere I could feel it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So there was, if you could guess at how old you were when that feeling was there that you were suppressing, or what was going on?
Now I'm going back into my childhood, so I remember that my mom and father, they fight with each other, and so we were eating lunch or breakfast, I don't remember, but then the mother left the house, and we were like 3, 2 years, 4, 5 years, very small child, so I remember that image comes now. I think that I saw that image few times.
Yep. Even though I remember when I was very small.
Even though I remember that I was very small.
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
When I can still hear my mother and father arguing.
When I can still my mother and father arguing.
I can hear the sounds of them yelling.
I can hear the sounds of them yelling.
While we were sitting eating.
When we were sitting eating.
And I can remember watching my mum walk out the door.
And I can remember watching my mom walking at the door.
That feeling of abandonment.
That feeling of the abandonment.
That scared feeling.
That scared feeling.
Feeling like mum Mum's walking out.
Feeling like Mom's walking off.
Wondering when she'll come back.
Wondering when she comes back.
All the fear.
All the fear.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And I ask my body to release it.
And I ask my body to release it.
All that fear and scared feeling.
All that fear and scared feeling.
When I heard my parents arguing.
When I heard my parents arguing.
And my mum walked out the door.
And my mom walked out the door.
All the fear in my body.
All the fear in my body.
Feeling alone.
Feeling alone.
When Mum walked out the door.
When my mom walked out the door.
All my fears.
All my fears.
That she'd gone forever.
That she'd gone forever.
All my fears that she wouldn't come back.
All the fears that she wouldn't come back.
I can still feel the fear in my body.
I can still feel the fear in my body.
That abandoned feeling.
That abandoned feeling.
Asking my Akash to release it and let it go.
Asking my Akash to release it and let it go.
From when I was little.
From when I was little.
And any other time I've ever felt it.
And any other time when I felt it.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
In all of my lifetimes.
In all of my lifetimes.
I release it and let it go.
I release it and let it go.
It's time to release it and let it go.
It's time to release it and let it go.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
So how does that feel? What was coming up for you then?
It's released.
Is that what I was trying to tune into what you were feeling? So was there that little girl was feeling like Mum's gone? Is she gone forever? Or that scared feeling?
Yeah. I still can feel it. It comes back again. So it's not in
the
here.
throat. Mm-hmm.
In the throat.
Mm-hmm. Even though I've got that scared little girl feeling in my throat.
Even I get the scared feeling of the abandoned girl in my throat.
When I remember my mum walking out the door.
When I remember my mom walking out the door.
And I have that scared energy trapped in my throat.
And I have that scared energy trapped in my throat.
I didn't know she was going to come back.
I didn't know she was going to come back.
I wanted to scream out to her.
I'm going to scream at her.
But I couldn't.
But I couldn't.
I have all this fear trapped in my throat.
I had a whole fear trapped in my throat.
And I'm asking my body to process and release it now.
And I'm asking my body to process it and release it now.
Thanking my body for protecting me.
Thank you for body for protecting me.
But it no longer serves me.
But it no longer serves me.
And I want to release it.
And I want to release it.
From my throat.
From my throat.
And every lifetime I've ever felt it.
And every lifetime I ever felt it.
Mm-hmm. That scared feeling in my throat.
That scared feeling in my throat.
I wanted to yell out.
I wanted to yell out.
I was too scared.
I was too scared.
That scared feeling in my throat.
That scared feeling in my throat.
Don't go.
Don't go.
Feeling alone.
Feeling alone.
Scared feeling that she won't come back.
Scared feeling that she won't come back.
That feeling that I'll never see her again.
That feeling that I will never see her again.
That scared feeling trapped in my throat.
That scared feeling trapped in my throat.
I instruct my Akash to process and release it now.
I instruct my Akash to process it and release it now.
All the way back to when I was a little girl.
All the way back to when I was a little girl.
When Mum walked out the door.
When my mom walked out the door.
And every lifetime I ever felt it.
And every lifetime I ever felt it.
Letting that little girl know she's safe.
Letting know that the little girl is safe.
Connecting her to her guides and higher self. Connecting her
to the higher self.
And her guides.
And her guides.
Letting her know she's not alone.
Letting her know that she's not alone.
She's never alone.
She's never alone.
Letting her feel that connection.
Let her feel that connection.
Mm-hmm. So what's coming up?
Let's see.
So when you're sitting at the table, Mum and Dad are arguing, and then Mum walks out the door.
It's a sad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Still, I feel that there's scared, sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And where is it now in your body?
So I feel that it's just moving a little bit up, but it's still I have it in my throat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just coming up towards my throat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Even though my energy is moving,
even though my energy is moving,
there's still some sadness.
There's still some sadness
in my high throat.
In my heart and throat.
Moving up to my third eye.
Moving up to my third eye.
I thank my body for processing it.
I thank my body for processing it.
And it's time to continue to process it and release it.
And it's time to continue processing it and release it.
All the sadness.
All the sadness.
Processing the sadness.
Processing the sadness.
All the sadness.
All the sadness.
Processing the sadness.
Processing the sadness.
Up through the throat.
Up to the throat.
Up through the third eye.
Up through the third eye.
Up through the top of the head.
Up to the top of the head.
Releasing it and letting it go.
Releasing it and letting it go.
Dissolving all the sadness out of the body.
Dissolving all the sadness out of the body.
Bringing in that feeling of peace and connectedness.
Bringing the feeling of peace and connectedness.
Even when Mum's walking out the door.
Even if my mom's walking at the door.
Letting that little girl know she's safe.
Letting that little girl knows that she's safe.
And she's okay.
And she's okay.
Letting her know I'm her from the future.
Letting know that I'm her for the future.
As I tap on her to release all her fears.
As I'm tapping to her to release all her fears.
All her sadness.
All her sadness.
As I look into her eyes and let her know she's okay.
As I'm looking at her eyes and knowing that she's okay. Letting know.
She's okay.
She's okay.
And I'm there for her.
And I'm there for her.
And I'll take care of her.
And I take care of her.
Releasing the fear.
Releasing the fear.
Releasing the sadness.
Releasing the sadness.
All the way back to that little girl.
All the way back when it started for her.
And all the way back to its origin.
And all the way back to its origin.
Whatever life I first felt it.
Whatever life I first felt it.
Mm-hmm. So was there anything else coming up while you did that? Or was it just with that little girl?
No, there is no sadness anymore.
Good.
No. No.
Good. So when you hear your parents arguing, you're sitting at the table and Mum walks out the door.
I'm okay.
Good. Mm-hmm. And was there any other hints from other lives or anything else? It was just that?
Nothing comes up
Mm-hmm.
at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Good. So it can all sometimes come up, sometimes it doesn't. But what we've done is asked the Akash to, or instructed the Akash to release it all the way back to where it began, wherever that was.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we're shown where that was, sometimes we're not. But the intention and tapping and instructing and speaking out loud to our Akash does the work for us.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.